This is the video for the home connection called Number Review. As I went over in class, you'll notice this box challenge puzzle. It says, here is a completed box challenge puzzle. If you look at it closely, you'll see that the number at the top is the product of the two numbers on the left and right, and the number at the bottom is the sum of the two numbers on the left and right. And as we talked about, a product is the answer when you do a multiplication problem. A sum is the answer when you do an addition problem. So it says to fill in the blanks to complete each of the box challenge puzzles below. Remember that the number of the top is the product of the two numbers on the sides, and the number at the bottom is the sum of the two numbers on the sides. So I can see that this should be the product of 7 times something. And I know that 7 times 5 equals 35. So now I have 7 and 5. So 7 plus 5 is 12. I'm going to leave that one. That's for you to do. I'm going to leave this one for you to do. If you're not real good at multiplication, I would start by figuring out what adds up to get 12 with 6 here. All right, here now, I'm going to do this one with you because it's a little trickier. They didn't give us either of the side numbers. 72 is a multiplication fact that I know because I know my nines. And 7 and 2 add up to 9, so that tells me that it's a nines fact, if you know that trick. So I'm going to start by putting a 9 here. 9 times 8 is 72. So then I'm going to check, is 9 plus 8 17? Yes, it is. So that's the correct answer. Number 2 says to evaluate each expression. That just means to answer it. So I'll start with letter A. I notice right away that these are both multiplication. So if you remember back to Unit 1, we can multiply in any order, whatever is the easiest for us. So I'm going to take the 10 times the 14 first. So 10 times 14 is 140. And then I'm going to multiply that times 3 as my last step. And if I have to write this out, 14 times 3, 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1, 3 times 1 is 3, 4, and then I have to add my 0 for the 14. So my answer is 420. You know, if you have to write those little notes there to help you figure it out, that's fine. I'm going to leave B for you to do, and I'm going to look at C. Now I notice this one has division and multiplication, so I have to start with what's in the parentheses. Okay, 2 would go into 6 3 times. So then I have a 0, so I'm going to move the decimal over one place, and that becomes 30 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and I have to put my 0 back on for 150. And then I'm going to let you do D on your own as well. Try and think about how you could maybe figure that out, what's going to be the best way. It's actually set up right for you it to be the best way as the parentheses are written there. Number 3 says, Julia said that she solved the problem 360 divided by 12 by dividing 36 by 12 and then multiplying her answer by 10. Write an expression to show her thinking. Again, expression is just the problem, how it's written out. So she said she divided 36 by 12, so 36 divided by 12 times multiplied her answer by 10 times 10. Now I'm going to put parentheses around that as well. You don't have to. It would work out okay without them. Lucas said he solved 360 divided by 12 by multiplying 12 by 3 and then multiplying the product by 10. Write an expression to show his thinking. So this would be, he multiplied 12 by 3 and then multiplied that product by 10. So that shows, that's the expression to show his thinking. Okay, now number 5 says who got the correct quotient answer, Julia or Lucas. It's not asking you to find the answer. It's just asking which one is right. Now, I know that Julia got it right because she did 36 divided by 12 times 10. That's just like if we were to just take that 10 out of there, that's the correct way. This one doesn't have even the right numbers. 12 times 3 would be 36, but then times 10, it just doesn't even make sense. So Julia was the one that was correct. 6. Billy said that he thinks 30 times 176 is 3 times larger than 10 times 176. Do you agree or disagree? Explain your thinking. I agree because 10 times 3 equals 30. That would be my explanation. All right, let's look at the back. We've got decimals again. This is a bit of a review. So write the following decimals in standard form. Now this one's getting tricky because we've got 1,000 plus 6, so 1,006 plus 1/10 and 3 thousandths. So you got to be careful with those, noticing your place value. Then B, you can do on your own. 8 asks for us to write the following decimals in word form. Before I do this in word form on this one, I want to write it in standard form because I don't want to write too many words. I've got 10, and then I've got 6 hundredths and 8 thousandths. So that would be 68 thousandths. I could write 10 and 6 hundredths and 8 thousandths, but that's extra words, and I don't want to do that. 10 and 68 thousandths. Okay, you can do B on your own. Write the following decimals in expanded notation. Now, we did that with the x's, the times like 1/10, 100th. You can do it that way, or if you want to make it simpler, you can do it like this one. So 700 plus 20 plus 2 plus 1,000th or 100th for 16 thousandths plus, oh, I'm sorry, I did that one wrong. 16 thousandths, not 16 hundredths. So the 1 in the hundredths place plus the 6 in the thousandths place. And again, if it helps you to write it in standard form first, 16 thousandths, do that to help you. Let you do B on your own, and I'm going to let you do 10 on your own because we've been doing really well with those. Just make sure you're looking at each place and seeing which one is bigger to finish those up. All right, if you have any more questions, please be sure to ask.